Hello YouTube, Guys99 here, and I have updated my Inzektor deck for y'all guys, so let's get started. First off, 3 Centipede, Dragonfly, Hornet, Hopper, Ladybug, and Mantis. Now we all know how the Inzektors work, so I'm not going to go over them. Now, this is where everything gets a little interesting and new from the last video. First off, we have Armored Bee. If you don't know what this does, it is basically the same as Gale the Whirlwind from the Black Wings, but it only works to the end phase. You can half your opponent's attack and then attack over it. It has 1600 attack and 1200 defense, so it ain't that bad. Alright, Dandelion. Now, this here is a very unusual card that you won't see a lot of, but if you don't know what Dandelion does, when it's destroyed by battle, you can search for any insect monster with 1000 or less defense. You only have 2 targets in this deck, and that is your Hornet, Ladybug, no wait, you actually have 3. It's Hornet, Ladybug, or I think Ladybug has less than 1000. Yeah, Hornet, Ladybug, or Mantis is your only 3 targets for this card. Next you have Mist Valley Soldier, because let's face it, people do like to run Marshmallow Analysis at 3, and you can pretty much compulse it back until you have something better to get rid of it with, like Hornet. And it's also a level 4 tuner, which gets into the extra deck a little later. Next you have Tutor Guide. Still trying to think of a permanent replacement for the Sangan, but yeah, right now it's just the Dandelion until I can find something better. Then you got Gores, Trag, and Dad. Then to get Hornet to the grave, monster-wise, you've got 2 Armageddon Knight, which has the same effect as Foolish Burial, but this card here, you have to summon it, and it only gets this effect once, and it only works on dark monsters, so keep that in mind. Then you've got Neospecial Grand Mole and Battle Fader. If you don't know what Mole does, this card here should really be a staple card, because let's face it, this card gets over so much shit. It gets over Stardust, it gets over the 5-headed dragon, it gets over Red Nova, it gets over a lot of crap. Okay, now on to the spells. Duality, Avarice, Allure, Armor Blast. Armor Blast here is an extremely useful card because this here is basically your Icarus attack for the Inzektors. You send 1 Inzektor card you control. Doesn't have to be a monster. Just any Inzektor card you control to the graveyard and destroy 2 face-up cards your opponent controls. Next you have Inzektor Axe, Inzektor Caliber. Inzektor Caliber gives your monster 800 attack, and when it's destroyed, except by battle, you can add 1 Inzektor monster from your graveyard back to your hand. The axe gives your monster 1000 attack, and they cannot add any spells or traps in response to that monster's attack. Next you have Mind Control, because let's face it, if you double Tour Guide and then Mind Control for their level 3, whatever it is, you can overlay for pretty much any rank 3 that you really want. Which mostly what I do is I do a Terabyte when I do this play, but that's just extra troll. Then you got Heavy Storm and double MST, just a little bit of back row hate, just in case I need to get a decent playoff before I get Hornet. Then we have Foolish, Freeborn, and Book. Pretty much your staples for this deck. Now on to the traps. I main deck 1 Mind Crush, because let's face it, everybody searches for something. When they search, you have this, and you discard it straight to the graveyard. Then you got Starlight, Solemn, double mirror, and double bottomless. I don't run judgment in this deck because you're trying to keep your life points, and sometimes this deck here does get a little slow. So yeah. Okay, on to the extra deck. You've got to have the ultra rare tokens. They're just sexy as hell. Okay, first off, you've got Stardust. Do I really need to explain Stardust? I don't think I did. Scrap, Colossal, Ancient Fairy. The original, if you play online, you know that there's two versions of this, the light and the dark. This is the light, because the dark hasn't came out yet. Then you've got Red Dragon Archfiend. Now on to the Exceeds. You've got one Blade Armor because Armageddon is a warrior. And you've got Mind Control, which you can steal somebody's warrior. Then you got Pearl, Zen Mains, Double Utopia. Then you've got Terabyte, Golem, Shockmaster, Leviathan, and Crimson Shadow. And that's it for the extra deck. Now on to the side deck. Now I just got through making this, so I know that it might not be the best of my ability to make for this side deck, but it should get the job done. First off, you got one Raikou, just for the macros, the deep prisons, or pretty much any problem monster that can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You can just get rid of a card on the field, mill 3, and then you still got the Hornet coming quicker. Then you've got two Kinetics, just for the warrior lineup. You also got Puppet Plant for the warrior lineup. Puppet Plant, you can steal one of their warriors to the end phase, and Kinetic, it gains 2,000 attack on top of its already 1,350 attack. Then you got DD Crow for pretty much any problematic cards that you have. Then that's all the monsters for the side. Then you've got another MST, because let's face it, back row hate's always nice. You've got Bearer from a Different Dimension because you are running Dad, you are running Allure of Darkness, so you will have banished cards. If you can get Dad out, you'll have at least 3. Then you got System Down for the Geargia, the Cyber decks, and pretty much any machine type decks that's out there now. You've got Gravity Bind because let's face it, most of your monsters are level 3. You've got Variable Form just in case they do a skill drain on you, and you have this. You can still get your effect off, and you can discard the Hornet because let's face it, Variable Form, once per turn, you can special summon one Inzektor card that's equipped, or you can equip one Inzektor card that's on the field to another Inzektor card that's on the field. So it's an extremely good card. Then I run the Huge Revolution is over. It's pretty much a second Starlight Road without the special summon effect. 2 Compulse because let's face it, if you can't get over it, you might as well Compulse it. Then you've got Deep Prison and Fiendish Chain. Pretty much, let's just face it, it's pretty much set out what those are for. But this is my Inzektor deck in all its glory, I should say. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you think. You go Galaxy, signing out.